Hello, my name is Sophie Roehl. I'm 10 years old and a junior in the Caroline County Triple Crown Equine Club. Today I'm going to be giving a presentation on my personal project horse story. I chose this topic because I'm really interested in breeding, training, and showing my very own 4-H project horse. This will be a multi-part story that I hope to share with you as it progresses each year. During this presentation, I will cover my reasoning for selecting the sire and dam of my project horse. I will also walk you through the breeding process up to where we are today. Meet the dam. See Me Shining, also known as Fancy, is currently 15 years old and is a proud sorrel quarter horse. Fancy's ancestors have all been successful in reining events and has been passed on generations, including to Fancy. Fancy also has a great disposition and is very kind, quiet, and patient. Let's meet the sire. Steady Smoking Guns, also known as Gunny, is 9 years old and is a Palomino. He is double registered in the Paint Horse and Quarter Horse Associations, which means my project horse will also be double registered. Triple registered actually becomes a Palomino. In that case, it'll also be registered in the Palomino Associations. This was important to my selection so that I had more choices for showing my project horse. And more registrations also makes it more valuable. Gunny, his sire, and 2 of his brothers have earned a lot of money from reining events. Those are some great genes he has, and we hope he passes them on to the foal. If I haven't made it clear already, I hope to show my project horse in reining and ranch events. Gunny also has a great disposition and is very kind, quiet, and patient. Here's a picture from a video online where 2 kids were crawling all over him and he just stood there. It takes a great mind to be so tolerant. These are the vet viz that I'll be talking about today in the breeding process, which includes the reproductive evaluation, the ovulation checkup, artificial insemination, pregnancy check for the embryo, and pregnancy check for the heartbeat. During the reproductive evaluation, the vet performed an external and internal physical. The external physical is where they check the dam's body to make sure it's healthy enough to carry the foal. The internal physical is where they check her reproductive tract to make sure it's also healthy enough for the foal. What they had to do is bring the ultrasound through the rectum over the cervix and into each one of the ovaries looking for the follicles. As represented in this picture, you can see the follicles located in the ovaries. The ovulation checkup told us that Fancy was ready to breed. Her follicle was a little bigger than usual, but she was able to hang on to it until the sire's ship semen arrived. Because of this, she had to stay over at the clinic until they could perform AI 2 days later on the 23rd. To prepare for AI, first they had to wrap the tail and use a Velcro strap to move it out of the way. Next, they used a liquid called betadine to scrub around the area where they would be doing the insemination so that once they go in, they don't bring any bacteria with them. So here I will demonstrate so that I can understand more clearly what's happening. So what they do is connect a special syringe full of semen to a small tube. Next, what they do is put their hand to the cervix and slowly push the tube under their hand into the cervix. Once it's in the right spot, they use the syringe to push the semen into the cervix. Motility is an important term I learned that tells you how many percentage of sperm is still live and active. The more live and active sperm there are, the better the chance of pregnancy. When we started, Fancy had 80% motility, and once Steady Smoking Gun ship semen arrived, she had 35% left, which is close to 45%, which is the average motility of a quarter horse. Here's a picture representing what live and active and inactive sperm look like. Because we had such a great percentage of motility, we hope that one of these active little fellas would do their job. And this pregnancy check told us one did. Here's a picture of the resulting embryo located in the uterus, which means there's a baby on the way. This is called Kazakh surgery. It is where they stitch up where the mare is supposed to foal so that once she lets out her fecal balls, no bacteria gets into the reproductive tract. These are removed prior to foaling. I was surprised at how quickly she healed after this procedure, and it only took a couple of days for her to look normal again. This pregnancy check we were searching for to make sure that the embryo was growing healthy. As you can see, the embryo is not as round as it used to be and is starting to fill the uterus. And then we saw a heartbeat. Look here for the flutter. After this, I was able to give Fancy vet-recommended vaccinations at 5, 7, and 9 months along pregnancy to make sure that she and her foal remain healthy. Here's a picture of me administering the shots to her myself. During the first week of March, we reversed her Kazakh surgery to prepare her for foaling. During the second week of March, we moved her to a smaller pen for foaling. I was able to study a lot about Fancy's care during gestation. Gestation is an important term I learned that tells you how long it takes for something to be born. Gestation in a horse is about 340 days or 11 months from insemination, which means I should be meeting my project horse March 29th. But she could give birth any day now. During this presentation, I covered my reasoning for selecting the sire and dam of my project horse. I also walked you through the breeding process up to where we are now. My sources are listed here for your reference. Thank you. If you have any questions, please list them in the comments below.